Hi, everyone, and welcome to webinar number 26, I believe, The Healer's Journey. And tonight we're going to be talking about what's vibrational medicine. Now, this is a term that has been around for a while, but I have some resources to share with you and some thoughts and maybe a few things to chat about. If you're staying on the line after we're done the recording, you'll have a chance to have some more intimate conversation about what was presented here and how it relates to you personally. So let's get started. And I am Rosemary. That's my dog Gracie, Rosemary Levesque with Second Nature Healing. And I'm just really excited about all the things that are happening vibrationally. And wanted to mention also that if you are taking classes with me, then there is an opportunity, actually a new opportunity, to get CEUs. So if you are a healthcare practitioner, professional, that you need that kind of certification, that is coming, and I will give you more information on that toward the end of the webinar. So what is vibration? And how can we use the concepts of vibration for healing? Now, these I have been talking about on the Healer's Journey for quite some time now, vibration. I'm all about the vibration, but we're going to talk about it more specifically in terms of what it means for the body and what is vibration. This concept here, nature and grace, comes from a book called The Healing Codes for Biological Apocalypse by Dr. Leonard G. Horowitz. And he says, the physical and the spiritual reflect each other and reveal the great fact that there is a secret tone scale or set of sounds that vibrates at the exact frequencies required to transform spirit to matter or matter to spirit. Now, what do you suppose that secret tone scale is, or that set of sounds? The etheric body is a subtle energy template that guides the development of the physical body. Distortions in the etheric template may be a prediction of illness months prior to it becoming manifest in the physical body. And this is from a book called Vibrational Medicine by Dr. Richard Gerber. He actually has several books, and I'm going through them now and saying yes, 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 check, agreeing with so much that he has to say. Let's just take a look at this quote a little bit more closely. The etheric body. If you had to point to your etheric body, where would you be pointing? Would it be just outside your skin, maybe a few inches away from your skin? How about a few feet away from your skin, somewhere out there? Yes, your etheric body is anywhere from well, it's generally referred to as external, but I believe it also goes into the spaces within your body. That's also your etheric body. Now, distortions in the etheric template may be a prediction of illness months prior to it becoming manifest in the physical body. This is a really important statement here. If, in fact, vibration in the etheric field becomes physical, becomes your physical body, then distortions in that could create illness in the body. What could, not distortions, but perfection perhaps, or alignment, or beauty, or harmony, whatever word you want to choose there. What if that could be in your etheric field instead? Could it be perhaps another way to look at health and healing? Could it be the ultimate way to prevent disease, to prevent illness? This is something to consider, and certainly something you may enjoy reading about in Dr. Gerber's book. That's the book that I'm referring to, A Practical Guide to Vibrational Medicine, Energy Healing, and Spiritual Transformation. Isn't it interesting that we can talk about energy healing and at the same time talk about spiritual transformation? Does one have to do with the other? Actually, yes, quite a bit. Now, he points out in his book differences between conventional medicine and vibrational medicine. Now, there's a whole list. I just picked a couple of things. But in conventional medicine, they view the body as a biomachine. In other words, biological, chemical processes. When I was in school studying biochemistry, everything had a formula, everything had a stimulus and a reaction, and there was a function associated with it. And so there was a very mechanical approach to studying the body. But in vibrational medicine, they view the body as a dynamic energy system. So it's not just the chemistry of things, but it's the energy of things, like the energy of food that you eat, the energy of the thoughts that you have, the energy of the experiences, trauma or joy. All of these things have energy, and they all interact with the body in a dynamic way, and this is the energy system. In conventional medicine, they tend to use treatments that include drugs and surgery to fix abnormal biomechanisms in the physical body. It's all about fixing the symptoms, right? What do you have? They identify you as the symptom that you have. Oh, the broken leg, or the irritable bowel, or the migraines. Okay, let's try to fix that with what kind of medication, what kind of surgery needs to be done. Okay, let's set the bone. Let's do all of these things. Now, I'm not opposed to bone setting. I had my leg set when I was 10 and broke it, and I was very grateful. Well, not at the time. I wasn't very grateful for anything that they did, but I am now. Now, let's take a look at vibrational medicine. Treatment with different forms and frequencies of energy to rebalance body, mind, spirit, complex. So a whole different way of looking at things. Rather than looking at illness as a compilation of symptoms, looking at illness as what can we do to change the frequency of the energy of the body, something in the etheric field, in order to alleviate what may be off balance. So it's not that we're trying to fix something, we're trying to create balance, once again, and vitality. Now, what is vibration? If you look it up, it's a motion of particles in a medium of some kind. Now, it could be, the motion could be spinning, shaking, moving in a pattern, or perhaps no pattern. It may be a reaction to a stimulus, a release of tension, or a movement of unknown origin. And everything moves. Everything vibrates. Everything has an energy to it. Now, sometimes we can feel this vibration, right? You can feel vibration. You can see colors. Color is vibration. You can hear sounds. Sound is vibration. You can know something, sense something. You can feel it in your gut. That is also vibration. You can smell things because scent carries vibration as well. So all of these things are vibration, and we are living in an environment that it is all vibration. We are vibration. And so when we are vibration in a vibrational environment, then it would be nice if we could harmonize with it in some way, right? Yeah. Now, everything has a vibration, a frequency that influences the physical body either positively or negatively. So, for example, it could be dissonant or it could be resonant. If something is dissonant, I'm sure you can relate to this. How do you feel about loud, sharp noises? Some people have an aversion, for example, to television programs or movies that depict gunshot, violence, fast noises. You know, for me personally, that's dissonant. I can't watch that. I can't be around that. It doesn't feel good. Loud voices, shouting, arguing, anger, those are dissonant to me. And so it doesn't relate to who I am and how I feel. And a lot of people may feel that way too. But something that is resonant would make you feel differently. It would have a positive benefit, a positive reaction in your physical body, as well as your emotional and spiritual body. You might notice, for example, that something smells good or something looks good and it makes you smile, it makes you want to go to it. That means you're resonating with it. It means it's a vibrational frequency that feeds your soul, is how I like to put it. What feeds your soul? What makes you feel happy? That's what is resonating. Now, I'm going to shift that around for just a moment and say, is it possible for people to resonate with violence? Think about that just for a moment. Is it possible for people to resonate with something that I don't resonate with? Let's simplify it a little bit. Could some people like loud, fast, hard noises and they resonate with that? Sure, but not me. So part of this dissonance and resonance means, where are you coming from? What is it that you like? And once you have discovered that, then figure out, how does that vibration actually work with your physical body? You may like those things that I find dissonant, and you may like it and you want to be around it, and you get a charge out of arguing with people, you know, that feels good to you, but you might find that it really doesn't affect you in a positive way. It might lead you vibrationally to a more compromised health situation. You might find that you're experiencing symptoms of weight gain or sleeplessness or anxiety or headaches, you know. So being resonant with something doesn't mean that it is good for you. So there may be many reasons why you are resonating with something that I find dissonant or that other people are finding dissonant, and it may have a different kind of effect on you. So whether you find it dissonant or resonant, make sure you evaluate at some point, once it comes into your awareness, because this is all about your awareness. Once it comes into your awareness, figure out how it really makes you feel. Is it a positive influence? Is it a negative influence? We could have a whole seminar just on that concept of dissonance and resonance. So a little bit more about vibration here. Vibration can be a tremor. It can be shaking. It can be disturbance in equilibrium. It can be a shock wave. Now, some of these vibrations may sound like they'd have a negative effect, but let's take a look at shaking just for a second. Shaking, if something happens, you know, you've seen animals in the wild. The zebra gets chased by the cheetah and manages to get away. And the first thing the zebra does as soon as it's quiet is it shakes. It shakes it off. I see this with my bird. We see this with animals at the vet. They're shaking, right? They're shaking because it's a kind of release. It is a vibration. It is a release. And by not holding on to that, they're not holding on to the fear. They're not holding on to anxiety. They're not storing those vibrations in their cells. So in this case, shaking, which society has deemed a negative thing, is actually a good thing. You want to release. You want to have a way to get rid of the trauma that is being held in the body. Now, a vibration can also have some rhythm to it. It can be a pulse. It can be a throb. It can be a harmonic sound. It can be a hum. And these vibrations can feel more resonant with you. And whether they're a positive or a negative benefit, you have to decide that for yourself. So there are many kinds of vibrations. Now, what do you resonate with? In other words, what attracts you to something? What attracts you to something? What are you resonating with? Well, I'm attracted to outside. I like being outside. I am attracted to animals. I love being around animals. What resonates with you? What are you attracted to? And what vibration resonates with you? In other words, what do you attract to you? Now, these two questions we can also spend a whole webinar on and get into the deep part of karma, of the Akashic records, of what you are bringing with you from day to day that you don't even know you're holding on to, right? So what do you attract to you? And I'm going to give you an example. There are some people who tell me that they don't have any money. They don't have enough money to do what they want to do, to travel where they want to go. They're very penny pinching, and I'm not saying this is good or bad. I'm just saying that they are in a constant state of what they perceive is lack. All right? So it feels to me like there is an attraction, and they don't even know where it's coming from, right? That whatever happens, it's, oh gosh, I got to pay for the car now because I got in an accident, or my health took a dive and I've got to have this procedure, or expenses, money going out the door, expenses for a person who is feeling a lack of money. Now, could there be, in this particular example, a vibration of that person that they have somehow attracted to them this feeling of lack? And so the universe is saying, here's the evidence of it. Here's the evidence of your lack, because now you have all these expenses, so you won't have enough to, go to the Caribbean. You have, this happened with your work, so you're not getting paid enough, and so there's not enough money. And this feeling of not enough money is something that, for some reason, that person, the vibration of that person is resonating with that idea. Now, if you were to ask that person, why? Why are you resonating? They'll deny it up and down. Oh, no, I'm not attracted to lack. I'm not attracted to no money. I'm not attracted to poor health. I'm not attracted to that. I don't want that. And the more they don't want it, the more they seem to get it, because in a vibrational way, it's in their cell memory. They might have brought it with them from another lifetime and they don't even know it. They could have had an experience as a child that they grew up with it. They believed it, and it became part of their belief. So when a person is not resonating with something that is happening to them, it's time to take a step back and become aware. Really, that's the first step. Just become aware of it, and then see what you can do to change the vibration, the frequency about that. So more coming on that. Boy, that was a long time on that one slide, but really important. Let's talk about the chakras for just a minute, because the chakras are major energy centers in the body, and they are part of what makes us whole, balanced, and vibrating. These energy centers, which now have colors associated with them in the colors of the rainbow. They're energy centers like wheels of energy moving in the body. And they're associated with physical aspects of the body, neuroendocrine system, spine, organs. It's associated with emotional and spiritual aspects of life as well. And if you've studied the chakras at all, you might know, for example, that the root chakra, depicted in the color red at the bottom of that column of colors, has more to do with survival, having enough, feeling safe and secure, and maybe even something that happens in your life from the time you were born to a few years old. Now, depending upon which mode of philosophy you're following, it could be from 0 to 2 years or 0 to 7 years old. You know, what happened in your life in that period of time that you are holding on to for some reason, that you're carrying up with you into your current age. Very fascinating work and charts, and I'll share one of those with you in the follow-up documents that come with being a part of the healer's journey. I'll just make a note of that to share one with you. Now, the chakras, these energy centers, can become blocked, or they might even be overactive. They could be depleted, just running a little low on energy. You might be in survival mode, for example. Or the chakra could actually be resonating with other frequencies. We can measure the chakras. We can do muscle testing called kinesiology. We can easily use a pendulum. I love to use a pendulum. We can read the aura. We offer that as one of our workshops in sensory intuition on how to read an aura. You can take an intellectual assessment, like looking at one of those charts I'm going to send to you. You know, for example, how do you feel about something, or do you feel like you don't have a voice? I'll show you on the next slide. Right here. So let's take a look at the heart chakra, where it says, I love. It's associated with the color green. And for people who are having difficulty in relationships, for example, if you're doing an intellectual assessment of the chakras, you might say, okay, I have difficulty forming relationships. I feel like I can't open my heart to this person. I feel like I have to protect myself all the time. You know, you get in a relationship and then after a certain amount of time you always cut off the relationship. This is actually an energy associated with a particular chakra, with this heart chakra. Now, there may be other aspects in the energy system that are related to it. For example, you might feel as though you can't really express yourself fully. Okay, throat chakra. Or it might feel that you don't have confidence, that you don't have self-worth. Well, that's solar plexus, the one just below the heart. So they're all related to each other. And you can do an intellectual assessment of the energy systems of the body and see if there's anything that applies to you. I'm not talking about self-diagnosis here. I'm just talking about awareness. Just a way to create greater awareness. Now, what influences these energy centers? What influences the chakras? They're being influenced all the time. All the time. Had a person one time say, oh yes, my root chakra is blocked. Somebody told her that once upon a time years ago, and so for years she was working on strengthening her root chakra, strengthening her feeling of safety and feeling grounded and secure and having enough. And she worked on it so well she didn't realize that she was really grounded. Her root chakra was really strong, but she held on to that belief that she wasn't. And so when I ask you what influences the chakras, please know that these things influence the chakras all the time, moment by moment. Life events, trauma, emotions, thoughts, relationships, diet, the food that you're eating, the toxins that you're exposed to, parasites, and finally, sounds. Sounds may be one of the most important influences on your chakra system, on your personal energy. Sound. In fact, The Power of Sound was written about by Christian Hummel, The Key to End War and Pollution. And this is an essay. Again, I will send that to you in the follow-up documents for people who are on the healer's journey. And it talks about resonance and dissonance and how powerful they are. And wouldn't it be nice if we could use the power of sound to feel in higher vibration, to feel happier, to feel cleaner, that we can get rid of pollution, to have harmony in the world. Wouldn't that be nice if we could use sound for that? I think so. Healing sounds good. Now, the kinds of sounds that I'm talking about, and these may be the secret sounds that we mentioned early in the webinar, are the solfeggio frequencies. Solfeggio is a particular frequency, a series of sounds that I will talk more about in another webinar. And suffice it to say that the solfeggio frequencies can be associated with the chakras. In fact, the set I use, is associated with the chakras in the body. And you can see the colors here, the purple, the blue, the green, and gold, and so forth. I've been using these for a long time now and find them to be incredible for changing the vibration in the etheric field. Remember, the etheric field, your aura, your vibration that's a few inches to a few feet away from your physical body. If you can change that frequency, how might that affect your physical body? Wow, right? So change the frequency in your auric field, in your etheric field, and there are lots of ways to do that. But one of the easiest ways is to use solfeggio frequencies, something that is in beautiful harmony. Actually, I say beautiful harmony, but part of this goes back to the dissonance and the resonance. I think I'm just going to have to do another webinar explaining dissonance and resonance and how it relates to the solfeggio frequencies. I have two opportunities for everybody who's listening to this webinar. One is to experience these solfeggio frequencies in a technique that lasts 30 to 45 minutes. It's called the Energy Vitality Technique, and I will be doing this particular technique for only $45, and I am adding in an intuitive reading as well. Now, it's nicer, it feels nice to do in person, but it can be done by distance over the phone. In fact, I did it for a dog in Kansas just this past week. Also, you can learn to work with solfeggio frequencies just like I do. I'll be teaching the Phase 1 class on August 26 and 27, and this class does offer CEU credits. So August 26 and 27, jam-packed day. It's usually a 3-day, at least a 2.5-day class, but we're packing it into 2 days. And what I'll probably do is do some videos in advance for people who are registered for that and get you going in that right direction to do some of the preliminary work so we can get right into the doing in the 2 days that we have together. As I always ask you, where will your path lead you? You're here tonight, or you're watching on YouTube and getting this webinar series sent directly to your inbox. So I'm going to ask you, where will your path lead you? Are you on the healer's journey path? Are you developing your skills? Are you learning? Are you going out a little bit farther than you thought you could achieve? And I would love to be, and I am honored to be, a part of your journey. That's part of why I am here. The best way to reach me is through my website, secondnaturehealing.com. You can also visit illuminationreiki.com, and as I was telling our guests before we started, we'll probably be doing an Illumination Reiki class in Sedona, Arizona, coming up maybe this fall of 2017, which would be so exciting to spread this out into the world. Please email me or call if you have any questions. I am Rosemary at secondnaturehealing.com. If you are not on the Healer's Journey webinar, please go to secondnaturehealing.com/webinar.html and find me there, find a registration form, fill it in. You'll get all of the webinars in the series. And I look forward to hearing from you. Take care and thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day.